Um, my thoughts on AI and how it pertains to art and artists. Um, I'm a little late to this conversation because this has been the one conversation that's been going on for the last couple of years, especially this last past year. And artists have been really uh, giving their feelings, letting it be known how we feel as far as AI generated art. I'm pretty sure if you haven't been living under a rock, you've seen the controversies. You've seen there's been numerous news stories regarding people making, generating art with AI technology. And my whole opinion about AI is it is what it is. AI is here. It's not going anywhere. As a matter of fact, um, you know, not to be a doom and gloom type of guy, but I'm serious. But I'm joking. I do believe AI is Skynet, and if you don't know the reference, then go look it up. But then again, AI is just like anything else. It's a tool. It just depends on who's using it. And whenever anytime there's the potential to make money or to abuse something, humans are going to find some way to exploit it. So that's what's happening. And the way they are pushing AI on us, I notice every commercial now is talking about using their products with AI to build your website, use AI to start your new business. Everything is AI now. So it's been in the works for a while. They just tried to make it seem like they were just ushering it out little by little, but it's been here. So like I said, AI is here. It's not going anywhere, but it's up to us as artists just to be mindful of it. I don't use it to make art. I don't intend to use it to make art. I don't want to use it to make art. That being said, I've seen AI art, a lot of AI art. At first, I didn't notice it until people started mentioning it, and I do make a point of looking at things now, and I can't tell when things are is AI generated art. It just looks that way. So one of the ways I want to approach this video is to not be that voice of, like I said, doom and gloom and just bashing AI. I don't want to do that. I don't want to give it the energy. Okay. What I want to do is I want to talk about ways we as artists can fight our good fight against it. And what I mean by that is if you're anti AI as an artist, do just make sure you're doing it for the right reasons. And me, like I said, I don't intend on using AI to generate any images or anything like that. I've seen people where they even talk about, well, they use it to just like give them ideas, things like that. Art wise, I haven't done anything. Now the only thing I have done with Chat GPT is I've asked Chat GPT for like, give me an idea for like a prompt for, not a prompt, but keywords for a video. I'll do things like that. But as far as like generating art, I don't need to do that. I'm an artist. I can generate art. Why would I want to do that? I even saw an example of someone, and they're starting to talk about this a lot now, as far as people making books. I've seen ads on videos. People creating books with AI. People creating comics with AI. People creating all sorts of things with AI now. And it's kind of, I don't want to say it's scary, but it's like, it's just like, really we're losing more, and we're giving away more and more of our uniqueness as human beings. We're giving more and more of our humanity away to technology, and it's not a good thing. It's not a good thing. And getting back to what I was saying, though, I don't want to get on a tangent. The way I choose to deal with this AI situation is, this is what I'm going to do as an artist. Instead of standing on a soapbox and waving my fist and I don't believe in AI, stop, don't use AI, yada 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 yada. This is what I'm going to do. I'm going to lean more into working traditionally. That way, I'm leaving something tangible as opposed to just digital art, because majority of my artwork is digital illustration. I make a habit of sketching in my sketchbook, coming up with ideas. I sketch in my sketchbook and I use those ideas, I transfer those ideas into my digital realm, my digital workspace, and work from there. That way I'm keeping my hands in both worlds, traditional and digital. Okay, so I'm not solely just doing digital work, because for me, sketching digitally is kind of rough. I tried that for a long time. It just doesn't have the same feel. I like to sketch. I like the tactile feel of the pencil on the paper. So I still sketch traditionally. So I'm still keeping that in my workflow. So that's how I intend to. I don't want to say fight AI. I just work beyond the AI issue. I'm just going to keep chugging along as an artist. I'm going to keep doing what I do. Basically is what I'm saying. I don't want to get stuck in, berating AI or constantly talking about it and how bad it is. I think, like anything else, I think what's going to happen is eventually it's going to work its way so much into our lives. People, after a while, they're going to be like, oh yeah, I remember when AI was introduced. It was such a huge doomsday thing, but now we'll use it all the time, blah, yada yada yada. And I'm just saying, people are going to get more accepting of it as it gets introduced. That's why it's being pushed on us so hard, so much. They want us to integrate it into our lives. And for me, like I said, I'll use it for little things, but as far as generating art images, anything like that, no, I'm not doing that. I don't feel the need to do that. I can do that. I'm more than capable. If you're someone out there and you're watching this video and you're like, well, I'm not an artist, but I like comics and I want to make my own comic book. Yeah, but it's not really you. It's the AI generating it. Okay, it's not really you. My advice would be, go find you an artist. If you really love the comic book medium and you respect the comic book medium, go find you an artist, pay that artist, and make you a comic book. It's going to be one of these things where, like, they're going to have these tools to where anybody and everybody can do it. But that's what's going to be the saving grace, is because not everyone can pick up a pencil and draw. Not everyone can pick up a paintbrush and paint. Not everyone can sit down and write a novel. Real creatives will always stand out. You're going to have more and more AI that gets rolled out that's going to make it easier to produce art. They're going to do it to where, they're going to try to bypass real artists, because you're going to want to make it easier for somebody to, create their website, and then they can go, and if they want to create an image of Spider-Man and do this, or create an image of a comic book character or a sci-fi character and do this and put it in there, yeah, they're going to do that. But it's still not the same as finding a real person, a real artist, to put the work in and put the time in. That's what's going to be the saving grace of this AI revolution that's happening with creatives and with artists. We just have to keep working. This is just a part of evolution. Things happen. We saw this happen. Remember when digital art, people started to use digital art more, and everybody thought that, it's going to take over. You're not going to have traditional artists anymore. No, you still have people painting. You still have people. You still have guys doing, creating comic pages on 11 by 18 inch bristle board. You got a lot of guys still like to do comics the old-fashioned way. They don't want to do it digitally. They say, I don't want to do it digitally. I like the feel of working on a real comic page. You got veterans that still do that. You got young people, young aspiring artists that work traditionally making comics. I know a couple people that have done that. So yeah, you're still going to always have artists doing traditional art and making real organic art. It's not going to always be able to be spit in through AI, and then AI is going to spit something back out, and it's going to give us this perfect product. And that's the thing. This is the other thing that's going to be our saving grace, is the more AI works at it, it's going to try to make it perfect. And the thing that separates digital from traditional is that the subtle imperfections of working traditionally. And what I mean by that is you get mistakes when you're working traditionally. If you draw a figure, that figure might not be anatomically correct all the way through. One hand might be a little bit bigger than the other one shoulder might be a little bit bigger than the other one, but that's how life is. Nothing is perfect. But when you're dealing with digital and you're dealing with ones and zeros, everything is put in as tightly as possible. Okay. I hope you're following me right now. So there's that need to try to make it as perfect as possible. So what I've really started working at now is trying to keep a level of how do I say where I don't concentrate on making the image so perfect. And what I mean by that is like the little flaws in there. Like when you work traditional, sometimes you have the means to go in and, like they always say, undo, because you're trying to make that perfect line, that perfect circle, that perfect edge. So you undo, you keep going, undo, you keep going, and instead of you erasing and trying to get as close as you can, you're just constantly undoing it, trying to get it perfect. So what I do is I try to get it close enough and leave it, and not try to give it that sense of, oh, it's perfect, and I can use the symmetrical tool, and I can make everything the same on this side as this side. Certain things I want to have the detail the same, but other than that, no. I want the little flaws, I want the little imperfections, because that lets you know that a real human being did that. So now I'm not so fixated on trying to make it look like, oh my God, it has to look like this. I want those little imperfections. I'm not saying that I want it to just look wonky or not look like it's supposed to, but I think you understand what I mean. So I don't spend as much time now. I'm like, I want to make sure I don't get fixated on redrawing this, redoing that. Nah, just leave it. Let it be. And that's how I'm doing. That's what I'm doing to just work through this whole AI thing. I try not to really think about it that much, but I do try to stay aware of it, and I will keep up on things that it's going. I'm not really trying to learn a lot of the software, because they're all like trying to push everybody into learning AI software, and if you don't do that, you're going to get left behind in the AI revolution. And yeah, we heard that with we heard that with when digital first came in. We heard that when computing first came in. We heard that literally with coding 2-3 years ago. They're telling everybody, if you didn't learn how to code, you don't teach your kids how to code, you're just going to be missing out. Your kids aren't going to get a job in another couple of years. Now they're saying it's not really necessary for anyone to learn coding. I don't know, but I'm just telling you what I heard. But anyway, so we as artists and as the art community, let's kind of move past the arguments that we've been that we've been putting out, and just saying, hey, AI is bad, AI is this, as AI whatever. AI is what it is. It's here. We can't stop it. We saw it when it was coming. It's here. Let's just do our part and keep making our art, keep doing what we do, and at some point it's going to come back around, and people are going to want to, after all of these agencies and all of these people, they've gone out and they've hired all of these people to mass produce all of this graphic design work through AI and all of these digital illustrations through AI. It's going to come back around. So things might slow down for a little bit. They might seem like no one's really interested, or everybody's jumped on the bandwagon, but you're going to see this big wave. I know you will. And then after a while, the novelty will wear off, and you're going to need those real artists. They're going to need you. They're going to need me. They're going to need the guy who knows how to paint. They're going to need the guy who knows how to or the lady that knows how to do these real things. They're going to need us. So just calm down, and let's just do what we got to do as artists and as creatives to make sure that we're still here once AI is hit its peak. All right. That'll do it for now. Let me know what you think of this video. I just had to put my 2 cents out there on AI. Let me know what you think. Hit me up in the comments. Until then, see you in the next video. All right. Bye.